Hi everyone, it's Natalie here and welcome to my channel. So this is the hashtag Be Kind VR to Lupa Moon. And what a beautiful hashtag. I couldn't resist this one. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a perfect hashtag. I totally want to do that one. This is totally my wheelhouse. I totally love this kind of thing. So, and I've spent years contemplating it very deeply because I really care about it. So I think it was in response to, there's a movement in the UK right now about mental health, and it's, I think, about Mental Health Week. And, that's important. That's so important. And it's something that we don't talk about a whole lot in our culture. We kind of seem to think that it's something to gloss over or not really worry about. But it's so critical. It's so critical. And kindness is good for our own mental health, and it's good for the mental health of others. It just is. So, yeah. Let's see. So the first question is, what would/can you do to empower others? I'm going to answer that on a much more general level. Of course, it can always be applied back to YouTube and back to the tarot community, but I think looking at things on a much more global level is really so important with this. The greatest thing I've learned as a teacher about empowering others is reminding people of what their gifts are and what their blessings are, because most of us have what they call the negative brain bias, which tells us, to look a lot more closely, more deeply at the things that are wrong with us, or the things that aren't going well, the things that are a problem, rather than to simply look at what those gifts are. And a lot of times our gifts are in shadow. We don't realize we even have them. And by reminding people of what those gifts are or pointing them out for the first time can be something that's extraordinarily empowering for them. It's easy to forget what your gifts are. It's easy to forget what you're good at, right? So what I love to do is to remind people what they're good at doing, to remind them of what their gifts are. It's how I used to direct plays as well. A lot of times actors would come into the room and they're just waiting for you, if you're the director, to tell them what to do, because they've lost touch with who they are. They've lost touch with their own gifts that brought them to the craft in the first place. So I love reminding people of what they do that's beautiful. And when I direct from that place and I point that out and name it right away, or used to, it would stop the actors in their tracks usually. And I would watch them just open up. The second thing I would say that you can do to empower others, and I feel like this one's really important, don't ever, ever try to save or rescue them. That's something that I have learned the hard way, because my family likes to do that. They like to rescue people. Most people don't need rescuing. And when you rescue them, you ensnare them and enmesh them and yourself in a dance that's very, very painful and very difficult to escape. It's codependent. It's really the worst way to disempower someone is to try and rescue them or make them feel as though they're not capable of getting themselves out of a difficult situation. It means, that you ultimately have to trust people to hold their own vision for their lives. It helps to support them simply through listening with openness, without your own stuff coming up and interrupting that journey or that process, even when you may not believe that what they're doing is necessarily the right thing to do. But through listening and respecting their choices, even if you say very little, you're empowering them by staying out of their way. If you have to say anything, something really good to say could be, you clearly know what the vision is for your life. And, that's beautiful. I want to support that. This one's a little more delicate. It's like my third little thing here. because this is the way I love people. I love people through empowering them. But sometimes if I can see that somebody has a particular area of vulnerability in their life, I really love finding a way to give them support somehow and to empower them through recognizing the things that they do well. So for example, what I mean by this, so I don't have kids, but I have a lot of friends and family members who do have children. And something I've noticed a lot of is the sort of parent shaming and ways that parents feel disempowered, horribly disempowered by the judgment of others, especially their own families, their own parents, and society at large. Being a parent is the most thankless job on the face of the planet. It is one of the hardest as well. And yet, so many people choose it or find that life circumstances land them there. Good heavens, what can we do to support that? Because that's an area of terrible vulnerability for people who are parents. So, where I have colleagues that are parents, in past, and I've been in a position to do this, I'm not really anymore, empowering them by reminding them that it's okay to take a day off. Take a day off. Take care of yourself. What can I do to help you, here so that you'll feel more comfortable taking care of yourself? Or just stopping and saying, wow, I really love the way you handled that. That was beautiful. I'm not sure I would have been able to do that in the same circumstances. Again, it's delicate, but where you can see that someone has a vulnerability and it's okay to kind of offer that little nugget of encouragement and support. Well, my friends tell me it's very empowering. So yeah, it's something I really enjoy doing. Okay, so that was all just question one. That was all question one. Okay, question two. This won't be long. This will be long too. Name someone on YouTube who has inspired you. This was hard because there's so many. So many. So I'm going to be really specific about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people. I could have gone on and on and on, and I thought, okay, no, 6 is enough. Stop. You need to stop. You have other things you have to do today. But one of them, the first person, and I mean, there are so many, and I could really go on and on and on, honestly. I've received tremendous inspiration from this whole community. And it's rare that a day goes by that I don't see something on someone else's channel that makes me go, ooh, I wonder, and kind of shifts my thinking or makes me want to rethink something, which is a form of inspiration or an idea is sparked. Back to question number 2, someone on YouTube who has inspired me. Jennifer Ball of Jennifer Ball's Witch House has inspired me tremendously through her journey over the last year with grief, and her authenticity about how it really is for her, what she's doing to handle it, and just all of those stages, while still having a willingness to engage life at the same time. And the way that she's been able to do that and been able to move through her grief has been just really inspiring to watch and observe. And I see it as kind of a role model of what I want for myself when I'm going through that, actually. So yeah, that she immediately popped to mind because of that. We're all going to have grief in our lives, right? So it's just part of life. It's part of our existence. And, being able to be with it and handle it and see someone model it in such a healthy way is, it's inspiring. It is inspiring. Another person who has really inspired me on YouTube is Queen Osset of Oya's Girl. I don't even know where to begin. These are all, by the way, the people I'm mentioning here are all people that have also become friends. They're people I'm in touch with away from YouTube as well. But she's inspired me to really climb higher. To look at myself and think about the kind of influence I really do have. And to take that more seriously. Don't just think that you're kind of talking out into the void and it doesn't have any impact. It has an impact. You have an impact on other people. This is a platform. Use it. Use it with care. Also just to stretch out of my comfort zone. Dig a little deeper. And just to feel good and feel safe about being able to stretch out and examine other cultures and other religions in a way that I might not have felt was okay had she not been there, had she not said what she said or done what she did in a particular video or conversation. Another person would be Diane Jarecki of Indigo Moon Woman. She inspired me to try reading on the lines, which without her, I would never probably have tried that. And I love it so much. I don't nearly get enough time just reading in general. I could really do it all day, every day, and I do a lot of other things as well that I also feel like I could do all day, every day. So, I can't complain. But yeah, just the honesty and willingness to say like, yeah, I do third-party readings and I do fortune telling and, I read on the lines, kind of made me go, wait a second, why am I being so stuffy? Am I being stuffy? What am I doing? And just to kind of re-examine my whole practice and where it comes from. And it opened my mind in a really beautiful way. So, yeah. Another person, this would be number 4, is Julianne Victoria of Through the Peacock's Eyes, who really inspired me to re-examine what I think I can do. As a person, as a spiritual being, as a spiritual helper, as a healer, and to, maybe adapt how I look at what I do and what my gifts are in a way that's really, really helpful. And she does it just through the simplest of little questions here and there when we dialogue or we talk or have a conversation. And of course, she also, really does that all through her channel, through her videos, through her own creativity. Her, leading. All of these are people who lead through example, and their example really has an impact on me as much as dialogue and conversation and friendship. The 5th person would be Tracy from Two Rocks Tarot, and she really inspired me to be open again to spirit messages and to receiving them in very, very simple ways. Just being willing to open up and look at things, look at objects, look at stones, look at rocks, look at cards differently. All of it, just so that I can see things more clearly and more from a different perspective. She also inspired me to put down the damn book, to put down the damn guidebook and just look at what's there, read the cards. I love guidebooks. I'm someone who will tell people, yeah, absolutely, you need to read the guidebook. You need to read all of the books, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, and yes, you do. And you also have to put it all down and just go with what's there. What do you see? What do you take in? What do you feel? What is it? And to just weave that message together from what you're seeing and what's right in front of you. And I really love her ability to inspire that and to, just get away from traditional meanings sometimes because they just aren't relevant at that moment. Amazing. And then finally, and definitely last, but in no ways least, would be Nina from Shuffle Tarot. Literally, countless ways in which Nina has inspired me. One of them was just to try the runes. Just try picking up runes again. I had a really freaky experience with them in my 20s, and I didn't feel comfortable. And then I picked them up again recently, and holy shit, it's changed my life. And now I kind of am yet again going, I have no idea what direction things are going in or what direction my spiritual practice is going in, but I've started to realize I'm not really that in control of it. I have to just go with my gut, receive what I'm being offered, and go with what feels right. And that felt right. She was behind it, because had she not actually started that, I would not be on this journey. And it has been, I don't have words to really talk about it. I've tried making videos about this experience that I'm having, and they're like so long and rambling. I don't feel like I want to really release them and put them out, because I'm not sure how coherent they are. And I realize that they're more about me just kind of working that out. And I know there's some of you who are like, oh my gosh, just say it. Just put it out anyway. Maybe I will. I didn't delete them yet, so I don't know. But I may also try to just do something that's a little more cogent, right? The other thing she inspired me to do, there would not be a Marielle video series without Nina. She was the one, she and Tracy and several other people who were in that live stream back in November for the hashtag New Beginnings 2020 were all part of that. And it was really Nina kind of then on the sidelines, away from YouTube going, you really want to do this? You'll be great at this. You should really, this is something you should really do. And I can't believe how much I'm loving doing it. And I've been amazed at how many people have been enjoying it and saying things to me. And, yeah, it's really opened my mind about what I do and what I think I know. I kind of think I have a tendency to think I don't really know that much, because I don't have the mirrors of people around me that value it, particularly in my immediate life. My parents are not great at that. My sister is loving and adores me. She's not always great at that either. My partner is, and ta-da! So having friends, and my friends usually, they remind me of things, but it's, that's how, those are, I don't know. I'm really not good at recognizing myself as being, it's good for me to be challenged to move in different directions. It's very good. And it does, when you do something and you get a result from it and you realize it's taking you in a different direction, it changes things. So I'm very grateful for that. And there are many, many other ways in which Nina has inspired me, but those are two very tangible ones that I definitely wanted to acknowledge and throw out there. So, question 3. 2 channels that make me happy. Again, these are 2 people I've already mentioned. One is Jennifer Ball, because she laughs so much and because she enjoys everything that she's doing so much. So whenever I pull up one of her videos, she's going to be encouraging, loving, supportive. She's going to laugh. She's going to make me feel good simply because she's happy doing what she's doing. And yeah, I will always end up smiling when I watch her. So yeah, Jennifer is one of them. And another one is Nina from Shuffle Tarot. And I've heard a lot of people mention her in this tag. Nina is always so cheerful and bright, and it's sincere. It's authentic. It's really how she is. And so when I hear her voice or I see her pop up, I associate her with that, and it instantly makes me feel happy. So, yeah. So, question number 4, what are some cards that depict kindness to you? I think that's it. I didn't write the exact question down the right way, but that's essentially the question. So, I could come up with many, but for this one, I just thought I would use this card. Which is from the Messenger Cards by Sandra Kuntz. And this, to me, depicts kindness because, these are two animals that should not get along. And yet there they are holding space together, neither one attacking the other. One is a predator, one is usually prey. They both have tremendous gifts. They just occupy completely different worlds. And yet, despite occupying completely different worlds where they have little to nothing in common except a total disagreement about what the world should look like, right? They're going to have totally different perspectives. They're able somehow to hold space for one another, if even just for a moment. Just through being present with what's there at that moment, without any other ideas, without any other things coming in. Just that. And I feel like if more of us were more capable of that, of letting go of ideas and judgments and biases and shoulds and shouldn'ts, that kind of presence and that kind of kindness and love would be much more accessible. Yeah. So, question 5. What does kindness mean to you? Mostly, it means presence and non-judgment. When I say presence and non-judgment, I think most of us know what presence is. It's just some stillness and some openness. And the non-judgment is about stepping back. It's about realizing maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I don't know how this person is. What if I just didn't know for sure anything and could just let that be? See what comes up. So maybe I can ask, like, who's here? Which part of this person is here? How are they really? How are they in their body? What am I seeing, from them? What am I getting from them? And then, like, well, what might they be feeling? What might they be needing in this moment? And it doesn't mean that I can do anything about it at all, but it will change the quality of presence that I bring, because I'm not layering it in that moment with my own ideas about any of those things too much. But it requires distance, which means that a lot of times the things that we do that are about kindness, right? When we think about kindness, we think about kindness to strangers, right? We think about being nice to the person in the grocery store, or opening doors for people, or giving someone a hug, or asking them how they are, or being nice to them in a situation where it might not be a very nice situation if it were someone else or different circumstances. We rarely think about how we can practice kindness with the people that we love and the people that we see every single day, that have become like either neutral for us, or, we have a system and a way of being with them that's become largely unconscious. You know what I mean? Or it's dictated by the past, dictated to a lot by the past. So largely like how we are with our family, an extended family, or, family of origin, our own, immediate family, the way that we are with our partners, the way we are with people that we go to work with every day. Remembering kindness in those circumstances is actually a lot harder than it is, with people you don't know. At least for me, it can be. Yeah, it requires a certain level of distance and a certain level of respect. So choosing not to offer my opinion or offer advice and just leave space. I got told by a friend recently that the thing she appreciates most about me is that when she picks up the phone and calls me and I answer, is that I'm very calm. And she feels that, like, it's okay to just say whatever she wants right away. and that it made a huge difference to her. And so that made me rethink about like, wow, I don't realize I'm doing that. That's actually really cool. Just to be able to, answer the phone and just leave space for the other person to talk without saying very much. That can be huge. That can be huge. So, yeah. Yeah. So there we go. So there's kindness. I find it hardest to practice kindness because it's, I guess, often depending on the people in your life, of course. I don't find this to be the case with friends, but often with my own family, and especially family of origin, acts of kindness are just kind of discarded and not really noticed very much. And so I have to really focus on the kind of kindness that I do regularly and allow that to feed my sense of goodness in order to continue to offer anything that's kind. Sometimes, genuinely kind in a way that I'm not attached to it either, or looking to get anything back with my family of origin sometimes. So anyway, so yeah, thank you so much, Lupa Moon, for this beautiful tag. It's just wonderful. And I know this was a really long video, but oh well, there we go. I hope it brings some brightness to someone's day or makes you feel happier, better, or less alone. Okay. Love to everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.